Hi folks, Rob again. So yesterday I released a little video concerning the legal name fraud and whether or not our legal names are copywritten by the Crown, whether or not using them is illegal, and whether or not you're committing fraud when you use your legal name. And my argument, of course, check it out, is that that's not the case. Our names aren't copywritten. It's not illegal to use your legal name, and you're not committing a fraud unless you have intent to commit a fraud, and therefore that argument is bullshit. So that raised a bit of a storm. Oh my God, it's like talking to flat earthers, for Pete's sake. Some of these people just can't get it into their minds that legal names can't be copywritten, that you would have to trademark it. But one of the more interesting points came from one of my biggest trolling stalkers, online stalkers. This man, he goes by the name of A-Raider. He's without a doubt he's obviously a sociopath and a narcissist. He accuses me of things which he then goes and does. And I find him quite comical. If he was a Canadian, if he was living in the same country, I would potentially be concerned for my safety, because his level of fixation upon me is absolutely pathological. He's fucking bit nuts. And he's not very intelligent either. So he raised a point here. He put something online on this forum, which is called Quatlou's Forum. Check it out. It's kind of like watching monkeys in a zoo where they throw shit and they think they're making it stick to you, but it's really just their cage. And these people, they are status of the highest caliber. They are firmly attached to their belief system. They consider themselves to be skeptics, but they will not be skeptical about anything which questions their own well-accepted beliefs. So this is what he wrote. Bobby says, oh, let's stop there. He calls me Bobby because as a narcissist, he's very arrogant. He likes to speak down to people. He likes to be dismissive. So he calls me Bobby. Bobby says he can disprove Kate's theory by pointing out that let's stop there. First of all, I'm not disproving the theory by pointing out one thing. What I'm doing is disproving the theory by pointing out that one thing and about a half a dozen other things, all of which, when weighed, gives you the preponderance of the evidence which allows you to believe that one thing is true and another thing is not. And what is not true is that the government is not copywriting your names. It's not illegal to use your legal name, and you're not committing a fraud. That's all I was arguing there. And I did it not by pointing out one thing, but by pointing out half a dozen, but this is what he does. It's how A-Raider does A-Raider. By pointing out that the government has never claimed to have gotten copyrights or even trademarks on people's names, and that no court has ever convicted anyone of fraudulently using their name. That is one thing, it's the truth. The amazing thing is that Fezboy, see, he calls me Fezboy because of my hat. He considers this to be a hat, and it's his way of expressing his arrogance and being dismissive. Goes on to state his security of the person theory, which says the government secretly holds wealth in trust for each Canadian, not realizing that the same arguments he made against Kate's theory also disprove his equally crazy theory. I don't believe it's done secretly. I think it's pretty much right out in the open. Using Bobby's own argument, I can point out that Canada has never claimed to hold assets or securities in trust for its people. Well, let's just stop right there, A-Raider, because, well, my son, you just rang the idiot bell and you're sounding like a ding-a-ling. So let's determine whether or not that is the truth or not. Let's look at the Bank of Canada Act. That would be where you'd find claims. Section 17, subsection 2 reads, the capital shall be divided into 100,000 shares. Oh, well, that sounds like securities right there, doesn't it? That's an asset. That's a security. Shares, securities, same thing. Of the par value of $50 each, which shall be issued to the minister to be held by the minister on behalf. Oh, let's stop there. Held on behalf. That sounds like it's a trust operating there. As a matter of fact, when you hold something on behalf of someone else, there is either an implied or an explicit trust. So yeah, they're holding securities in trust for whom? On behalf of Her Majesty and Right of Canada. So I guess that brings us to the question of whether or not Her Majesty and the Right of Canada is in fact equatable with the people of Canada. Who or what is Her Majesty and Right of Canada? Some people will want you to believe it refers to the Queen, but it doesn't. When you want to talk about the Queen, and when legislators want to talk about the Queen of England, they use the specific words defined in the Royal Titles and Styles Act, I believe it's called. And if they want to talk about the Queen, they use specifically those words. Here, Her Majesty and Right of Canada is actually just a name of an entity providing government services to the people of Canada. And since the only lawful method of governance in a common law jurisdiction is representative, Her Majesty and Right of Canada is in fact the legal representative of the people of Canada. Like it or not, that's what I read. So when you read that, you find out that the capital is, there are shares being held in trust by the minister for either the people of Canada or the people of Canada's legal representative, which means that when A-Raider the idiot said, Canada has never claimed to hold assets or securities in trust for its people, he is in fact ringing the idiot bell and sounding like a ding-a-ling. So he is awarded the Special Snowflake Award for the day. A-Raider, you're an idiot.